Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Acupuncture is My Life. Now, this episode should be quite interesting. Why is simply because it has a lot to do with certain foods that we like to eat. And it's not just isolated foods, let's say, to the United States, but globally. And in eating these foods, let's say, you can even, let's just say Oreo cookies, right? Once in a blue, it's not going to totally disrupt your health. But many individuals tend to include it as part of their regular diet plan. And that is not good. That's not good at all. You really, really don't want to do that. You want to avoid doing that at all costs. Because I know no one is perfect, and we're not going to have the perfect diet. We're not. Now, you have those that are really, really good at eating. And I myself, as a board certified doctor of acupuncture, I tend to slip every now and then. I really, really do. I'll admit to that. But I don't think it's that bad. But it can also be a matter of opinion. Okay? Trust me. Because I have my moments where, let's say, a sporting event is on television, and whenever that sporting event is on, I'll grab a bag of so-called organic chips, but they're really still not good for you. And, I'll eat a half a bag, large bag. And then I may snack on some dark chocolate with nuts or raisins, so that plays a part as well. But there's a certain type of food that you can put in your body that's really, 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 really bad. And this type of food is like processed meats. And processed meats are one of the worst things in which you can eat. What's an example? Hot dogs. Processed meats tend to be loaded in sodium and saturated fats. And it's also packed with sodium nitrite. And sodium nitrite is generally a preservative that tends to add color and flavor to meats, along with other chemicals and dyes, which is not good at all. Why would you want to be putting that in your mouth? Because eating processed meats tends to increase your risk of coronary heart disease, okay, as well as diabetes. It can also increase your risk of, let's say, colorectal, colon, and rectal cancers, which is colon and rectal cancer. So now that you know this as a result of listening to the Acupuncture is My Life podcast, do you want to continue eating processed meats, such as hot dogs? Do you really want to continue eating that. You see, an acupuncturist understands that health is wealth. We know that the wealth is not in the stock market. We know that it's not in the bank. We know it's not in a safe. We know it's not in your pocket. It's not in your purse. It's not under the mattress. It's not in the shoebox in the closet. It's not under the doghouse in the backyard. It's in you. And it's important that you understand that as well. Now, another type of food, and I'm being really specific, I'm just throwing a few foods at you, is, let's say, pretzels. Oh my gosh, how could you say that? You know, I love pretzels, especially with salt. Pretzels are refined carbs. All of it. All of it. Refined carbs. Now, I spoke in past episodes about the dangers of refined carbs. Let me sip on some black tea with cinnamon and honey. Hold on. Delicious. I've spoke of the dangers of eating refined carbs. They have absolutely no healthy components to it, such as healthy fiber, healthy protein, or even healthy fat to keep you satisfied. It adds no benefits with regard to the calories in which you're ingesting. So why not eat a handful of walnuts or almonds, cashews or something? Why pretzels? Because those snacks that I just stated are loaded with fiber. And snacks that are rich in high fiber and, let's say, whole grains tend to be tied to a lower risk of coronary heart disease as well as diabetes. It'll enhance your lipid profiles as well as your glycemic control. This is important. Very important. None whatsoever. You really want to stay away from diet soda. I mean, just thinking about the chemicals that are in diet soda, the artificial sweeteners in diet soda that tend to trigger insulin production. Just even thinking about the fact that this then sends your body into a phase of storing fat, which then tends to lead to gaining weight. That should be enough to say, stay away from diet soda. Because diet soda is heavily tied to increasing a person's risk of metabolic syndrome. So why, now that you know this, you've listened to the Acupuncture is My Life podcast, and now that you're aware of this, why would you want to touch diet soda? Another is processed pastries. You know, those things that look beautiful in the wrapper and it's on the shelf every time you go to your grocery store, you go shopping for food. You ever check to see if that's the same package that you saw last week, the week before, the month before, still sitting there? Looking awesome and tasty? It could be. Because these processed pastries tend to have ingredients in them that allow for it to sit on a shelf for as long as a few years, looking tasty and delicious. They tend to be made with refined sugar, refined wheat flour, hydrogenated oils that are unhealthy for you, tons of chemicals and artificial ingredients, and again, trans fat, which is associated with coronary heart disease and sudden death from cardiac issues and diabetes. You know, you want a pastry or pastries that bad, make it yourself. Make it yourself. All right? Why don't you do that? Why don't you make it yourself? And let me throw a curveball in this list. All right? You ever eat foods such as cheese doodles or, I don't know, cheese crackers or what have you? Those orange looking snacks. Woo. You see that on the shelf. Run. Loaded with chemicals and artificial coloring. This type of junk food is so dangerous. So dangerous. I don't even know a dangerous chemical to say you're probably better off eating instead of these orange colored snacks. Okay. Again, we can go back to healthy seeds and nuts. Pistachio. Awesome. But you really want to stay away from snacking on foods that just are not, they're processed, they're not good for you. I mean, nothing has outdone healthy fruits and vegetables, room temperature water, teas, quality grass-fed beef, red meats, brown rice, quinoa, different types of legumes, things that nature made itself. Or foods, because the body quickly assimilates, processes, and discards what it doesn't need from what nature has made. And these are talks you'll get from an acupuncturist. Because I'm constantly saying, see your physician on an annual basis for regular wellness visits, and regular checkups, and see an acupuncturist on a regular basis for regular wellness visits. You can't go wrong by simply making acupuncture a part of your life. Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?